The Green Seattle Partnership is a collaboration between the City of Seattle, community partners, nonprofits, businesses, schools, and thousands of volunteers working together to restore and actively maintain the city's forested parklands. GSP aims to help the community understand the importance of urban forests, which provide numerous benefits to the city and its residents by improving air and water quality, providing important habitats for wildlife, sequestering carbon dioxide, and more. To learn more about GSP and ways to get involved, please visit our website at greenseattle.org or follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn.
Hi, I'm Sadie. I go to West Seattle High School, and I'm currently a senior. For my plans after graduation, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm hoping to go international for undergrad. So I'm considering a couple schools in Scotland and then one in England. So we'll see.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I go to Garfield High School and I'm currently a junior. And after graduation, I plan on taking political science or environmental studies. Currently, my favorite subject is environmental science, and I just finished my AP exam for that.
I found out about Seattle Partnership. I think it was just like an email that I got about like the Youth Ambassador opportunity. Yeah, and I just thought it would be something really cool because I hadn't really been able to get as engaged as I wanted to be in the environment and like local environmental activism.
I found out about Green Seattle Partnership through their Instagram. Some people I knew were former youth ambassadors, and I was like, well, if other youth my age are doing this sort of work, like I would want to participate. And so that's what made me take the jump and submit the Google form application. Working with GSP, there were a lot of opportunities for leadership. I would say that we had a lot of autonomy in deciding what projects we wanted to do, and our internship culminated in like a final project, which for us was a youth-led restoration event at a local park in Seattle.
So we like mapped out a site on what's called the Serpent Mound, which is right by Daybreak Star, which is in Discovery Park. And we just planted some like native plants and like, I think it was mostly plants that had like healing properties. So there was like yarrow, and we did like strawberries, sprinkled some like wildflower seeds. And yeah, it was lots of fun. I would say my favorite part was probably the event itself that we did, just because, I don't know, it was really nice. It was just a very like community-oriented thing. And I feel like everyone was really learning. Like Shamika from Daybreak Star was teaching us a lot about like the history of the land and like that spot specifically and like the different plants. So yeah, it was a really lovely learning experience.
My favorite part about that was being able to connect with the different like stakeholders in Green Seattle Partnership and also the people who are doing work in the community. Not only like did we get to interact with other youth and get them to participate in the event, get them interested in doing restoration work in the future, but also working with Shamika at Daybreak Star Indian Cultural Center and also Lisa, the forward steward at Lincoln Park. I think, yeah, finding out about all the work that these people do was really valuable, and like I learned a lot from that experience. If you really want to get involved with GSP, I think you should try your hand at a restoration event that we're already holding. And also follow the Instagram just because you can stay in touch with GSP and also stay tuned for when like the application for the youth ambassadors drop.
Don't be afraid to apply. When I like sent in a little form, I really didn't think that like it was going to go anywhere. And then also don't be afraid to share your ideas and just like anything that you think you might be interested in, like GSP is flexible enough to be able to get that incorporated into any projects you work on. It's a great place to really learn from all different sorts of people who have a whole like array of experiences. Having more people be more aware about like what that really could look like for us. I feel like there's a lot of information that's circulated about the effects of climate change and like how like drastic the changes to the earth are going to be in the future. I would say just as a whole, having more people be involved and more people being able to have those hands-on opportunities?
Well, my vision for sustainability in the future is something that is intersectional, and I would say that environmental justice is something that's really important to me. What I would like to see in the future is more equity across the board in having environmental opportunities for youth, and also green spaces and vibrant spaces that people can live in and thrive in. And sustainability to me also means people doing their part in getting people in power to be held accountable, polluters being held accountable, and corporations being held accountable. One thing that I would want people in decision-making positions to know is that they should be taking the voices of youth into account, even though they may not be alive for a future where clean air and clean water do not exist. Well, I think the youth of today are going to have to bear the brunt of cleaning up after the mistakes that generations before us have made. And if you don't take the voices of the youth into account currently, you are jeopardizing our future. There's been a growing push for youth to have a seat at the table, and that definitely starts with people who already have power to give youth a seat at the table.
Hi, I'm Christy, and I work with Cascadia Consulting Group, a Seattle-based environmental consulting firm that works to foster sustainability in communities, businesses, and organizations. Our focus areas include community engagement, equity and inclusion, waste, recycling and reuse, transportation, stormwater, green infrastructure, energy and water, climate action, and natural resources. Through our work, we aim to really shape an equitable, anti-racist future for ourselves, for our partners, and for our communities. Through my work with Green Seattle Partnership, and specifically as the lead for the Youth Ambassador program, I get to work directly with incredibly bright and innovative, passionate youth who I truly feel are helping lead the way for a more environmentally sound future. When I was in high school, this is back in Oregon, I didn't really have access to a program quite as unique as the Green Seattle Partnership Youth Ambassador program, or really any direct engagement with opportunities from organizations as robust as Green Seattle Partnership. So I would absolutely encourage folks of all ages, but especially youth, to get involved with GSP. And really that could be, through social media, going to the GSP website, reaching out to us directly. All of those are ways to get kind of your foot in the door and get involved and start seeing what opportunities are out there. So youth can get involved with GSP in like a ton of different ways, right? So from engaging with GSP partners, applying to their specific youth opportunities and programs, which we share out, GSP shares out on the website, again, social media, but they can also apply for what I help kind of mentor, which is the folks in the Green Seattle Partnership Youth Ambassador program. So they can apply to be part of the Youth Ambassador program as an ambassador. And this really presents an opportunity for youth to gain employment skills, take action around local environmental and social justice issues, and make an impact in their communities. So the application period opens in the summer, and the cohort begins in the fall. So, and then continues their work throughout the end of the year. So if that is sounding interesting or sounds like something that would be an awesome opportunity for someone please pass along that information and keep looking on our website and social media for more info surrounding the Youth Ambassador program.
I'm Caroline Borsnick, and I'm the Environmental Programs Director at Delridge Neighborhoods Development Association. And we have a mission to integrate art, nature, and neighborhood to build and sustain a dynamic Delridge. And so we do nature programming, like the restoration work we do with GSP. We do a lot of art programming. And then we also own and operate 7 affordable housing facilities in Delridge as well. Youth engagement is an important part of my job because with just our GSP restoration events, typically every year, at least half of our volunteers are youth. And so some years that's like over 1,000 people. And part of my job is ensuring that DNDA is providing programs that youth in our communities are interested in and feel welcome to participate in. And it's also an important part of my job because we want to help support youth becoming the next stewards of the land here in Delridge. We host restoration volunteer events through GSP every Tuesday and Saturday throughout the year. And so anyone ages 5 and up can participate in that. And with the volunteering, there's no application. We just have a registration form that's available on our website or on GSP's website. We also run an environmental justice summer youth program. And that is centered on creating a sense of place and teaching lessons that encourage youth to be advocates for themselves and their communities. And that is a monthly stipend is provided for the participants of that. And the application is just a simple form that requires contact information and then just an explanation of why the youth is interested in participating. For that program, we typically target youth that are attending Chief Sealth High School or are living in the High Point community in Delridge. For young adults, so people over 18, we do have a restoration internship program that is 6 months long. So it runs from January to June, and then there's another one from July to December. And with that position, they help run our weekly restoration volunteer events and provide program support. And that is a paid internship that's typically around 15 hours a week. And for that position, we usually have the application on our website or on other job boards like Indeed. And we do request a resume and cover letter.
Hello, my name is Emily Castillo. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Environmental Program Manager at Partner in Employment, or PI, how we like to say it. And so Partner in Employment is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to ensure long-term economic stability for newly arrived refugees and immigrants here in King County. What I focus on is mainly our environmental job training program, which is a paid opportunity for youth and young adults. The whole goal of our restoration training program is to ensure that these youth not only have the opportunity to come join the program, but also to again learn the skills of invasive species removal, native plant installation, how to create a resume, cover letter, how do you even search for jobs. The annual opportunities here at PI for youth specifically is we run about 4 cohorts a year, so tied to every season: fall, winter, spring, summer. And it ranges from 6 to 10 week programs. Ideally, we do it, the higher amount, 10 weeks, as long as the schedule allows. And then we do provide a paid stipend. Like I said, we provide transportation assistance via Orca cards and gas cards. And the application process is very simple. We typically have a flyer that has a link or QR code to our form. And this form is this interest form where if you just write all the information, just your name, how we can contact you, and other details if you're able to go to the parks that we have scheduled for that program. Our program is, I feel a little bit more unique than other programs in that we do provide a very high stipend. And so because the stipend value is so high, I find that we're actually getting a lot of interest in the program, but we only have certain availability for a certain amount of participants. And so a challenge is choosing who can join. And while I really want to accept everyone, we're just limited in how many people we can take on, especially with capacity of we are a small nonprofit. So we're juggling a lot of different things. There are a variety of resources I feel that are super important if you really want to get into the environmental world. And so a lot of the times I've found opportunities through just following local environmental organizations or social justice organizations like social medias. a lot of the times they mostly post about current events, current like job opportunities or current like job training programs. And so seeing those flyers and like graphics, I think it's super helpful, and just knowing those organizations are out there and doing really great work. Another resource I think a lot of folks don't know is the King County EcoNet, which is like a place where you can subscribe via email, and this like email chain, lots of folks like post about opportunities, like again, events, jobs, and all that, anything that's going around here in King County.
Hi, so I'm Ian Shayak. I work for the Student Conservation Association, and I am the Seattle Community Program Coordinator. And so I make sure that all of our crews have everything they need. I kind of work behind the scenes, make sure that everything's all good. So our mission at the SCA is to build the next generation of conservation leaders and inspire lifelong stewardship of the environment and communities by engaging young people through hands-on service projects. I really do think that it can be both about the environment and protecting the environment, and about communities, supporting both of those at the same time. And I think it's really important to get out there and actually do some hands-on work rather than just kind of thinking about it or learning about it. It's good to get out there and actually go out and do some tangible projects. So my biggest highlights working as a leader and then now as a coordinator, it's really whenever we can get students to an aha moment. And those are great. Anytime that a student maybe is not so sure about something or doesn't know so much about something and then comes to really understand that or like whatever that is, I love those moments. We have a lot of programs in the works at the SCA in the Seattle area and Washington State and beyond. We have opportunities all over the country. In the greater Seattle area, we have the Seattle Community Crew, and that is mostly an urban crew, and we do that every year, and that is for youth that are in high school. And we go out into parks and we do some habitat restoration, trail work, anything that our partners need. And so that could be Seattle Parks and Rec, that could be the Forest Service, and the Washington Park Arboretum. Those are some of the partners we've worked with most recently. It's a really fun program. We do go on a short camping trip up to the Snoqualmie Pass area. We also have the Edmonds Community Crew, which does a very similar kind of work, and they also go on a short camping trip up to the Snoqualmie Pass area. To apply, you can check out our website, which is thesca.org, and we post our opportunities on there. You can also send us an email at scapnw@thesca.org. We are limited in the number of spots we can provide to students. And so that can be a challenge for sure, is when we have fewer spots than we have applicants. And so that's one thing that we want students to remember who are applying to our programs. If you are not accepted into one of our programs, don't be discouraged, because there are so many other opportunities with the SCA or other organizations. We're trying to grow as much as we can in the future. So one of the main resources that I always turn to whenever I'm looking for opportunities for someone, maybe especially young adults, is the University of Washington College of the Environment Career Opportunities Board. And so there are all kinds of interesting jobs that they post on there, both in the Seattle and Washington State area and beyond. There are new jobs posted on there almost every day. And there's a wide range of positions. We at the SCA, we actually post our leader positions on here. So if you're a young adult looking for jobs related to the environment or conservation, that's definitely a place to go. The University of Washington College of the Environment Career Opportunities Board.